are
Yes.
probably.
Well, as I mentioned in the other game, Excalibur is being played in the other group as well as one of the pre-gens, but they're running her as a spoiled teen trust fund kid,
Oh, that would have
which
been good.
is a great switch. Did a little bit of tweaks on some things.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're just joining us, we're in the City of Mist podcast here, talking about characters. This is City of Mist. This is the third session of 4 for this PbtA-inspired mammoth game that has no index. It's a little bit different from other PbtA games, but it's a noir superhero game. We've played a couple of sessions. This group has been investigating a missing person that turned out not to be missing, but then became a bomb, as it turned out, which is what I'm going to roll into here in just a second with the summary of our past session. If you're watching this, know that this is part of the Gauntlet Hangouts, which is an online gaming community. You can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. We have a blog. I have a post up today. And we have multiple podcasts, and we've got this online gaming group and much more. It's an exciting thing, and if you're interested in online gaming, you can check it out. You don't have to be a member of the community to join games. We've got a calendar. We have a week that's sort of closed for people who back our Patreon, and then it's open signups after that. But we're going to roll in with our characters today. Here is what I remember of last session. The group had recovered Katie, an artist who had gone missing. They had some back and forth with the woman who ran this gallery, a woman named Midya Nadar. Before they left, they found there was a gentleman across the street who Kitsune recognized and was able to eventually identify as the person he had run into before. They stole his phone at that point, with this various speed powers and things to find out what was going on with him. When they got back to Grasscutter's offices with Katie, there was some looking into the phone and found out that this person had a boyfriend who had gone missing, who had been another person in this artist community, and there was what this person was looking for them, was very suspicious of the artist community. And then, as Katie was talking excitedly about her creative enterprises, her creative activities, she exploded like a supernova flare, which briefly set the offices on fire. They were able to extinguish that and get everyone out, but there was nothing left of Katie. They exited from there and began to check into other leads, other things. In particular, they found out that this woman, Midya Nadar, had arrived. They said she'd arrived recently, but she'd actually been kind of a normal person until about 6 months ago. They believe she might have become a rift at that point. They found a lawyer by the name of Epi Pinto, who has clearly done all the legal documents for this woman, for Midya, and that there's something strange going on with that. They looked into those matters, went through the legal briefs of that. They talked to this person whose boyfriend had gone missing, and he told this whole conspiracy story about how his boyfriend had been, had gone missing, and about how there had been these other artists, at least one of them, that had been seen just before a bombing. And they connected that with what happened to Katie. They found out that a number of businesses belonging to a Greek mobster named Rusopolis had been targeted. That there have been several attacks on Rusopolis's businesses of various kinds, and that there seemed to be a connection there somehow. Eventually, Kitsune broke into the gallery to find out what was going on, and was able to infiltrate successfully, but then got caught out a little bit. Found a room where Midya Nadar had, the classic board with pictures and little lines and things like that, breaking down Rusopolis's operation. While they were there, Kitsune saw that the two other people, including that lawyer, arrived. They all seemed odd. The third person who they had not met before seemed to be able to sense, especially when the third eye opened in their forehead. They had the sense that maybe this person wasn't normal, but they were able to use their illusory powers to get out of there. The group pulled back together, and they discussed a number of different approaches to this, and they ended up deciding that reaching out to Rusopolis and speaking to his people, maybe finding out what was going on with him, maybe giving him a heads up, might be the best approach. So they ended up meeting with one of Rusopolis's people, a consigliere, or at least a security person or somebody like that, at a restaurant. He got Midya Nadar's name from them in the course of the conversation. And then after a few comments, he transformed into a glowing vulture birdman, and proceeded to attack them. Does that seem like a fair assessment of the previous session? Did I miss anything important there, Grasscutter?
I think that you missed the key part, and that at the end, the flunky revealed that he was working for gods.
That's true.
Which was pretty much the big reveal at the end.
That's true. And Kitsune, is there anything I missed that you spotted there?
I think that we had established that we kind of were using the boyfriend Ramiro to kind of he's a tool that we're going to use, but we've got him stored away somewhere safe for now that is not our hideout.
Right. You've got him tucked away just for safety's sake. And so this is actually the scene that we come into. What I'm going to sort of hard frame in is that whatever effect this vulture divine servant creates knocks down Kitsune, and leaves you two up. And the other thing is that Excalibur, you were arriving a little bit late on the scene. Does that seem fair? So that's where we're actually going to start. When John gets in here, we'll roll him on into this. But essentially, let me frame the moments, frame where we're at, and then I'll see what you're doing. So we established this is a restaurant, classic old school restaurant with the plastic tablecloths and the paper placemats and all of that kind of thing. They do pizza, and their salad bar maybe has 8 fixings on it, that kind of place. And the table's kind of been pushed back as this figure stands up and begins to transform. And it is definitely that sort of vulture beak that is forming on. And the radiance is kind of stunning when it rolls out from him. And meanwhile, outside, Excalibur, your driver, has just pulled up at this restaurant. And as you're pulling up to the restaurant, there's suddenly this glow, like a bright orange, fiery sunlight comes pouring out of the front window. But what you will see is across the street, this panel van come open, and you will see this group of figures in tactical gear with guns come out and are clearly, hup, across the street towards the restaurant that you were supposed to meet your colleagues at. So, Kitsune, what is your first thing that you want to do here?
So I think this is unexpected. So what I do is I'm gonna duck behind the bar. Like I think I was like thrown on the ground because of the burst of energy that came off his transformation. So I think that I'd rather try to assess the situation from afar. So I definitely scuttled behind the bar. And
Okay.
I'm like peeking out to assess the situation.
Absolutely. So what do you think is appropriate for investigating this situation?
Well, this isn't very daring, but I guess I could be nimble as a fox here.
Okay, sure.
And then I'm going to say that it was kind of not graceful, so I'm not going to use parkour artist.
Okay.
And then let's see. Yeah, I think that's going to be it.
Okay, so I'm going to check in. Maybe I'm going to point out I've got a level 2 status, essentially this blinding radiance that's filled the room, which is going to act as a -2 to your effect until that is dealt with. So I don't know if you want to look and see if there's any other power tags you can throw in there. Don't forget, you can also burn a power tag, use it up, which will give you a roll of a 10 with power 3. Even with the -2, it'll still be an 8 with power 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the power tag probably has to be like useful in the situation in the first place. Like I can't burn a power tag that's like not useful in that situation.
That seems right.
Yeah. Then I think I'm gonna hold on to them because they're the ones they use all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So with that -2, I still don't really have anything unless I don't know how the takeaway good fortune power tag kind of works. Like if that's like a thing I can do.
The other thing is you can actually use your team tags. Each of those team tags can be used once per session.
Okay.
So look and see if there's any of those you want to potentially utilize there.
You could possibly see this as We Stand United. I might be like laying the land and be able to help my teammates. So.
Sure. That will be then a +2. Those two, you go click those two tags, and you'll put you'll put 2 in the minus thing at the top, and we'll see what you roll.
All right. Is this an investigate then, or?
Yeah, I think this is investigate.
Let's see how this goes. It was a 5.
All right. So when you go to leap to do that, and get behind there, and you're fast, but this vulture thing is nearly as fast as you, and he reaches over as you come past, and he kind of claws at you, and you don't feel it necessarily hit your physical form as it hits kind of your midsection, but it's like he grabbed your guts and twisted them on hand. So you're going to take a level 2 pained status. And it's weird. I mean, this thing looks at you. You'll actually see it kind of bring up its hand. It's kind of looks like ghostly bloodied after he does that. And he kind of lifts up off the ground. Grass cutter, you'll see Kitsune go past, and this vulture catches Kitsune and kind of twists, and Kitsune goes back behind the bar there. What do you want to do?
I'm going to control the wind, tear the roof off the restaurant, and try to get the guy in a wind vortex.
Okay. So you're essentially trying to create a status on them. Does that seem right? Okay. So let me look here. So let's do hit it with all you've got. One of the things I'm having an issue with that I need to look at the very end is that we've got two sort of aggressive moves in this game. Go toe to toe and hit it with all you got, and there is some overlap. But I think this is a little more of an attack thing, so I think that's appropriate. So what are your power tags?
I'm going to use Control the Wind.
Okay.
I'm also going to use, if I can get there, Lord of the Tempests.
Okay.
And I'm going to use actually, I'm just going to use those two. I'm not going to burn a crew tag yet.
Okay. I'm going to give you the radiance is there as a negative effect to make it difficult to see, to connect. So I'm going to give you the -2 from that.
All right. Well, then I will burn Fury of the Gods.
Okay. So if you burn Fury of the Gods, that'll give you a 10. But it'll drop it down by 2 because of the effect. So that will give you essentially a status 1 effect on that, a level 1 effect with the power reduction.
Okay. Would you still like me to roll?
No, if you burn the tag, it just gives you a 10.
It's a 10. Yeah. Okay.
Automatically, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, so I'm going to put a level 1, essentially harm, hurt effect on him. Tell me what that looks like. What do we see on screen?
I think that so Grass Cutter hops onto a table and draws Kusanagi, which is the sword. It looks like a stick of bamboo, but it changes into a sword as he summons the wind. Outside is a massive gust of wind that blows in down the street. There's a huge wrenching of noise, of brick being torn apart, and the roof just flying off. So Excalibur, it's on, man.
Okay. And it is definitely up in the air. The wind lifts this thing up as you go into this situation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get Excalibur's move, and then I'm going to frame you into the sitch if I can, John. If that's cool with you, you can hear us. Sorry, you're muted. I'm not sure what.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So I put the Roll20 link in the chat there. That should allow you to get to the page. And I pulled up Mitosis there if you want to use him again for this. So Excalibur, these what looks to be a group of security personnel are.
Yeah, I'll keep with Mitosis.
Okay, sounds good. They've clearly got vision goggles on, and they are doing the thing where they are moving up to essentially try and get a tactical advantage at the front of this restaurant, and then the roof comes off the restaurant. So Excalibur, what do you want to do?
So I think there's police forces moving in and a natural disaster sweeping in at the same time. I know they're in there. I think I'm going to. I want to cause, as I'm sitting in the back of the car.
Okay.
I want to make this into more of an event than it already is. So I want to try and get media here. So and try and put that sort of pressure on police forces, and also maybe give us an escape, cause more chaos in a way, controlled chaos.
Okay. So that sounds to me like you're trying to change the game. Like you're trying to create an effect. You're calling in backup, that kind of thing. All right. That seems reasonable to me. What do you think your power tags are for calling in the cops on this super heroic skirmish?
Definitely contacts in every neighborhood.
Okay.
And friends in high places. Trying to think of what else I can. Maybe seasoned negotiator, right? Because I need them to get here fast, and I want like
Absolutely.
everybody.
Yeah. So that would be 3 tags there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to put in your weakness in there to get a little experience?
Oh. Hmm. Oh well, there's. Let's see. I mean, I can hit up unreliable allies.
Sure. So just put that as a minus there, and we'll roll with the change the game.
Oh my! Duh. I'm gonna try and put a -1 to the minus category. That's not how that works. Change the game. Ooh, so fast. Nice.
So that is a 9 with power 2. So you've got 2 points of juice because we can't use the term hold. So you get 2 points of juice, and you can use those to essentially create a story tag. So something like cops on the way. Is that what you want?
I don't know about cops, but because they're kind of already here, right? It's this paramilitary force. But
these aren't cops. These are most decidedly not police officials.
That's true. That's true. Do I want cops? I've been thinking like news media. So that's sort of like press pressure. Because I don't want to get stopped by the cops. But
let's put news media 2. We'll have that as a thing on the table, and then we'll figure out how we can apply that, how we're going to use that, how players can build it. So essentially, you're creating an advantage that you can draw on later. So we're going to sidebar here just a second for John for mitosis. Can you give us a quick rundown for our players? We saw you in the other game last time, but can you give us the 30-second pitch on who mitosis is?
Okay, yeah. So he's a former boxer that was in an accident, and since then for people that can see through the mist, he looks like a big kind of like orcish green. Looks like he has like lines, he basically he's living on the little cash he has left from his boxing career, and just does this so that he has a house.
Fairly resilient, fairly tough, fairly strong, right?
Right.
Let's have our existing players give the 30-second pitch on them, and then I'm going to frame you into how you've happened to have gotten called in with these other modern gods. Kitsune, give us the 30-second pitch on you.
So River Fujimori is his heroic spirit is basically Kitsune, which is a Japanese deity of a Japanese spirit of foxes and good luck. And so he is a 19-year-old who's still trying to figure out his place in the world. He's much more interested in being a god than he is in being a normal person, but that doesn't stop him from having a severe crush on somebody to the point where he can barely talk in front of them because human interaction is hard for him.
Awesome. And Grass Cutter, give us the 30-second pitch on you.
Grass Cutter is a manifestation of Susanoo, who is a god of storm and water, and he is mercurial and very quick to anger, and a comic book artist.
Appropriately enough. And then Excalibur, give us the 30-second pitch on you.
Yeah, Excalibur is a rich middle-aged woman from a rich family who runs an art gallery for charity and thinks that she knows what's best for everybody.
And they have been doing things. They're kind of a group of that consider themselves sort of modern gods. They have a secret hideout in an abandoned train station, you've worked with them a couple of times, and for the fiction of this, one of their people, Flicker, called you in to tell you that there's some supernatural stuff going down. There's some really dangerous people. They're bombing some places. We're meeting with a representative of this like Greek mafioso, and asked you for backup. Does that seem like a fair way to handle that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So as you're kind of coming up, maybe you took a Lime bike, maybe you took an Uber over to this. You get to the restaurant just as you see across the street from this restaurant, this panel van open up, and this group of people armed, with weapons, essentially submachine guns, kind of kept down low. They've got tack vests on, night vision goggles, or at least maybe flash suppressor goggles. You're not sure. Balaclavas, the full get out, are moving across the street towards the restaurant that you were told to meet at. And you can see this otherworldly glow coming out of the restaurant. And then the roof of the restaurant gets torn off by the winds and kind of flies up into the air. So what would you do?
That broke up just a little bit. So I saw the building's roof torn off and fly up into the air.
Yeah, and you would recognize that if you work with Grasscutter, you know that he has wind control powers, so you suspect that he has done that effect.
Oh, okay. And this is where I was called to come in too.
Yeah. Would you
help with?
Yeah.
I guess just well, if the roof is off, I'm just gonna try and jump up there.
Okay.
Or go straight to the wall and just kind of climb up.
Absolutely. So I think that there's probably no role for that. I think that's just like getting you into a good position for action. Does that seem fair?
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, and what does it look like when you climb with your powers? Are you extending your flesh, or are you digging into the wall? What do you imagine that is?
So mitosis, yeah. So his arms kind of reach extra, and they you can kind of see him warp and everything, and he reaches up, and then when as he's reaching up with another hand, you see another limb reaching up from his back to grab even higher, and so he has like this 4-armed climb up the wall.
Perfect. You will get up to the top, and I'll tell you what you can see so you can act on it on the next round. You will see from this vantage point, you're up, like a second story above with the roof torn off. You can see that Kitsune has landed behind the bar. You can see that Grasscutter has his blade out. The room is filled with the radiance. Actually makes it very difficult to get precise details, but there is this winged figure that is giving off this glow that currently it looks like Grasscutter seems to be the one who is, directly engaging that person. The restaurant itself right now is a disaster zone. There's Parmesan and red pepper flakes everywhere. And of course, both kinds of dressing, ranch and Thousand Island, are all over the floor here. So Kitsune, you felt that tear in your gut. This vulture got a hold of your entrails, and then you landed back here. What do you want to do now that the situation has escalated?
So I think that since it's really hard to get a lay of the land with all of that radiant light in there, I'd like to just throw my makeshift katana at the source of the light and just see if I can stick it wherever the sun is shining.
Sure. That seems like hit it with with all you've got. And what are the power tags here?
So makeshift katana for sure.
Okay.
I'd say it's nimble as a fox because like a throwing move is kind of requires some agility to aim properly.
Okay.
And then I'm also gunning to take away good fortune because I want to put the enemy, like I want to even the playing field here. So
all right.
Pretty daring.
So that's going to be 3 power tags. You're still suffering that -2 from the radiance until that's taken care of.
I've also got that pain status. Does that? It's only at a 2 right now.
So what that'll do is that's actually measuring your damage track effectively. When you hit 5 on that, then you'll get taken out on if you get hit on that particular spectrum more.
Okay. So power of 3 -2, and this is a.
I think it's hit it with all you got.
Hit it with all you got. It's an 11.
That is an 11. So you get to choose 2 additional results, as well as inflicting this status on Geyer.
Let's see here. So you secure a superior position so that they can't hit you back, and you gain the upper hand.
Okay. So you've got 1 juice to help other people. Essentially hold to do that. And that katana comes flying out, and you hear this squawk, this screech, as your katana definitely connects. And it turns, maybe flings a table over, but you're behind the bar, so it just smashes, and knocks down all of the little wine displays with the wicker baskets on the bottom and the fake plastic ivy that they've got over a trellis there. That's all goes flying everywhere. Let's come to Grass Cutter. You'll definitely hear the sound of this vulture, a squawk from pain. What do you want to do?
I think I'm going to call in some lightning.
Okay.
I'm going to wave Kusanagi around and direct it to strike where I think the vulture guy is. Does he have a name? I didn't take that note down.
So his name is actually Geyer, but I'm just calling him the vulture because that is what he is.
All right. So I have Smite with Lightning. I have Under an Open Sky.
Okay.
And I have, I think that's about it.
Okay. So still, until this radiance is dealt with, that's still making it difficult to target him. So you're going to suffer that -2 for that.
Okay. Yeah, I think maybe if I just deafen him, that might give us an advantage. So even if I don't hit him, but we'll see. So I'm going to do hit with all you got. Is that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Kitsune, do you want to use your juice to boost his effect?
So he already rolled and he got the 11, so I don't think I need to help.
Oh, you don't even need to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a power.
Can the help increase the power?
Yes, if you put the juice in, it'll increase another tick on the power effect, is what it'll do.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I'm fine putting that one forward.
Okay. So if Geyer is momentarily distracted by Kitsune, or maybe Kitsune's helping me echolocate where Geyer is.
Yeah, the hit definitely gives you hear the squawk, and you're able to use that to target. That seems perfect.
Sure.
So we do 3 ticks on the status for Geyer. You'll see it doesn't go up like 3 numbers. You go actually click it up 3 ticks, so you can see you're just past the level 3 status on that particular spectrum of doing physical harm. So yeah, what does your lightning look like? Is it just classical, lightning, or is it stylized in some way? What do we see?
I think it's just a bolt out of nowhere. It's we're pretty deep in the city, so it literally just looks like it comes out of the sky. But there's a
Okay.
corresponding boom, and everything's shaken again. So there's more parmesan
Yes.
floating in the air. All the windows get blown out.
Oh yeah, front window. What are your 2 picks from the hit it with all you got?
Is that on a handout or?
It's actually, if you look in the Roll20 text, it has it there, but it's also under
Oh, I
the
see. Yeah. The sheet is amazing. I'm going to choose you get them good, which is +1 tier,
Okay, so I will.
and then I'm going to choose you hold the target's attention if possible.
Okay, so let me multi 2 sides. So we'll clunk it up 1 more tick because of that. You do suffer reprisals, though. When you do that and hit him, he comes flying forward and he knocks you down, and he reaches into your stomach, and he like pulls back, and it feels like he is tearing your intestines out. And you're going to take a level 2 harm on that. So that's a harm status. If you haven't already taken it 1, then it starts at 2. But he looks in very bad shape. He clearly did not expect to take this kind of punishment this fast from you. Excalibur, what are you doing?
I thought I would get out of the car, but then I thought maybe I shouldn't because these people have guns in the parking lot. But it looks bad out there. How do I want to do this? I think
They look like they are going to rush in on your companions.
Ugh.
You can buy more. It'll be fine.
It's so hard to hunt down these demigods. Okay. What I'm thinking is I want to use this disguises tag to whip up something very clever in my nice town car before I step out, so I can be a distraction for these police, because whatever's going on in there doesn't need to get worse.
So when you say police, do you mean for the mafia tactical crew that's going in to kill your friends?
Yeah, those ones.
Okay. Why don't you tell me what kind of distraction you think would work in this circumstance? Just let's spitball here.
Can I have perhaps like a mob wife look, and step out and do like, hey, what are you boys doing here? Can I have one of these moments?
Sure. Let's see you.
It feels like a stretch.
It does seem like a stretch, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is that what you want to do?
Oh, I don't. Let's see. No. Okay. No. If there's lightning and a roof has fallen off and windows are blowing out, I guess I might as well just like take out a sword and really go for it, right?
Oh, you mean Excalibur that you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like maybe I should just really go for it. Because if they're fighting a giant vulture thing that can claw them out mystically, surely I can take on a squad of armed people.
Absolutely. Do you want to go at him?
Yeah. I'm gonna burn attack because I don't want this to go badly.
Okay.
And I'm gonna burn transform into any weapon from my ultimate weapon tag. And I think I just want. Wait, I'm in like athleisure. I'm probably coming from like a yoga session. Okay. So I've got like tights on and then some like nice little like loose fitting sweats number on top. And I think I just like step out of the car, and this like bracelet at the slow motion cinematic moment as this bracelet like clicks off, and that's all you hear, right? There's like a low distance siren or something, and you hear the click. And then I just want to like a big massive sword.
Okay. Final Fantasy style and sweeping through them. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you burn a tag. So that means you get a 10 plus result with 3 powers. So you can deal essentially 3 a level 3 status to them, and from the hit it with all you've got list with that, you're going to get to pick 2 effects. So what do you want as those 2?
Man. Those are all very good.
You don't need extra targets because they're considered essentially one mob.
Okay. I'm going to control the collateral damage.
Okay.
And I'm going to hold their attention.
Okay. In that case, so what is going to happen is you're going to deal a level 3 harm with your power. And then they've got an armored effect.
Oh, man.
So it'll go back. So it'll go 1, 2, 3. So that is where they are at. What does that look like? What do we see? I mean, what is your style for fighting with this massive sword? Silver Fox yoga woman.
I think it's like a angry. It's a angry wife of 20 years who just found out she's being cheated on. So she's like really going at him, as if this is the man who she has to murder now to get all the money from.
Okay. So Excalibur doesn't give you any super like martial talents. It's just that it's a badass magical sword that you're swinging wildly, and you're in and among them in a moment, in a rush, before they even kind of realize what happened, and that sword will snicker snack around, and several of them will fall down. And one of them though hits the ground and rolls up and will let into you. For a level 3 harm.
Oh no!
They just got a single target to focus on. So, as they light you up, so that'll be a level 3 status that you'll have then.
And my yoga uniform is not bulletproof.
No, I don't think so.
Cool
but that's something to invest in. Right?
Now I know.
Yeah. Let me cut up to the roof. You've seen that katana fly across. You've seen that lightning strike, and then you see this vulture blur figure fly over and knock into Grass Cutter, and he's kind of on top of him. You're above him. But you also see down on the street below, you see Excalibur wading into those, attackers, and then gets lit up.
Oh hell! I gotta jump down into the attackers. It's like, you guys can handle this, right? I gotta go.
And you want to drop down onto this kill squad here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just dive right into them and start attacking.
Sure. What tags are you activating for that?
Let's see. Let's go with huge, instant muscles, growing extra limbs, and I got a weakness of being monstrous.
Okay. So hit all of those. That'll give you an attention on that particular theme book.
Okay. And then
hit it with all you got. So nice. You guys are on fire. So that will do, because they're armored. It reduces that effect by 1, but it does take them up to the full level 3 effect. And you get to choose 2 from the results there.
Okay. For the secure a superior position, can I get Excalibur into a different position, or is that?
I think what that would be is you would read that, you would do that as like gain the upper hand, like you get a juice to help her out
Okay.
if on the next thing she did. That's one way to handle that.
So yeah, so I will hold the target's attention then, or
Okay.
gain the upper hand.
Okay.
Or I'll hold their attention. I want their attention for the moment, and then I'm gonna get them good to give an extra tier.
Okay. Then they are going to light you up.
Go
and
for it.
It is a level 3 damage status. Essentially, and what do we see on screen? What does it look like when you land in these? Some of them are getting up. They've got cuts on them. A few of them are down. They're starting to get up to get their weapons readied. And then what happens?
That's from attacking Excalibur.
From you, what do we see you do to these people? What do we see on screen, on panel?
So like after they've hit Excalibur, he jumps down like right next to a guy and just backhands him, reaches over one of the cars, and you know, just kind of goes straight at him.
Yeah, send the guy flying back. You know, he hits the wall with that sort of bricks cracking, you know, dust cloud when he hits, and then you smash another one in the car. And while they were worried about this woman, this old woman with a giant sword, this shape changing boxer in their midst has grabbed more of their attention right now. Kitsune, you've hit this vulture well. You've smacked it hard. But you look up and you see it's this glow, and it's flown and it's knocked down Grasscutter, and it is going to town.
So, where's my katana at? Is it like embedded in the bird creature? Is it like laying on the floor or something like that?
You didn't burn the tag, right?
No, I did not.
Okay, then yeah. Where do you think it is? What's is it stuck still in him, or do you think we see it on the ground?
I think that it probably did get like stuck in him, and he's like just ignoring it because he's probably like way stronger than we are.
Absolutely.
And so what I want to do is I kind of want to like, while his attention is drawn on Grasscutter, I would really love to like leap forward and then grab that katana out of him, and then copy, you know, the move like Yuffie's limit break from Final Fantasy VII, which I've been studying meticulously, and actually burn the katana tag so that I can like do a whole hit it with all you got.
Absolutely. Let's see you do that. So you're going to burn it?
Yeah.
Okay. So that will create a 10 plus, which will do then a 3 power effect. -2 because of the radiance is still 1 through. Is
it possible to boost that with other tags then to try to?
You don't need to. You don't need to. And I'll let you do your pick in just a second, but I want you to tell me what it looks like when you kill this essentially divine agent of the gods, this vulture sent down from the heavens. When you drive that in, what does it look like? What do we see?
Well, I backflip over a bar and I rip the katana out of its back, and then I do like another somersault up into the air and then just like drive my makeshift katana straight through its skull, and then it almost seems to like fracture, like as if you've just driven a nail into a piece of glass, and then all these cracks just like ribbon out over its body, and then like light just starts to like blast through the cracks, and then it just like shatters,
and as it does, it's almost like a kind of a reverse of of a flash in some ways, because it's been so bright. When it shatters, that, you know, sort of swallows all of that light, and it's gone. You've destroyed this rift. And that seems to consume the body of whoever this rift was inside of. Grass Cutter, yeah, Kitsune just katana the hell out of this vulture.
I totally had that. I did not need your help, but it was really cool. I gotta say.
Excuse me, you were laid out on the floor and it was wailing on you, so I just thought that I would, give you a hand. But next time I'll just leave you on the ground then.
I had a plan, but okay. Well, I guess that's not important.
Sure, man. Sure.
And I kind of look out the window and hear.
Hey,
Yeah,
isn't that Grandma?
This might not be over.
What do you want to do?
If I understand it, the gold status is so they're at status 3.
They're at status 3, ticking up towards 4, which will take him out.
Okay. I'm gonna summon another massive blast of wind and see if I could just knock everyone down and take them all out at the same time.
Okay, so that seems like a hit it with all you got.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I controls the wind, and I think that's all I got for this one.
Okay.
Oh, under an open sky.
All right. Let's have you roll that. You guys are killing me, okay? So that's power 2, which will on this take them up 1 tick because they've got armored on right now, which reduces that. So what do you want as your 2 choices?
I'll choose you get them good, which will move it up another tick. And then I'll choose you control the collateral damage, so I'll knock over everyone except for Mitosis and Excal.
Okay.
And pour Malik in the car.
That's right. So the wind will hit them, and they will let loose with that gunfire as they're thrown multiple directions. So you're going to take 2 ticks onto your damage track. So you'll just tick it forward 2 sort of points.
Okay, so I'm at 3 at this point.
Yeah. So 5 is when you go out. And they're gone. They crash into these vehicles. They go flying. Even as they do, you can hear the whoop, 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 whoop of the city skycopter, eye in the sky 16 coming this way. Excalibur. Oh, you got shot. It hurts.
I sure did.
What do you want to do?
I think I'm on the ground. I don't know. I'm on the ground. I'm just gonna look and seeing that this thing is dealt with. I'm like, you fucking kids better get out here. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna try and staunch the bleeding.
Yeah, you've got probably enough training that you can keep that in place. Your driver is sitting there waiting. Car is still running. You have called the news media in. So do you just want to kind of get to your car and call for everyone else to kind of follow suit? Or is there something else you want to do?
Yeah. I'm just gonna go to my car. I was thinking maybe there's a way to intercept the news media and spin it in our favor, but honestly, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got 2 points with that. So, what is it you want the news media to do? Do you want it to make it so it creates some traffic lockup so you can get out of here without being seen, that kind of thing?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I wasn't thinking I could use a story tag like that, but yes. Yeah, I just want to make it so the ideally the mobsters are gonna really go away because there's tension now, and they'll also kind of control and corral the crowds, and they will block off the right parts of the streets. Yeah.
Perfect. So you get there, you can call that in, using that to your advantage. You know who to call to make sure you've got a path out of here. Mitosis, Excalibur is kind of gesturing for you to get into the vehicle.
Okay, yeah, I'll get right in the vehicle and say, next time invite me before you start the party. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking here.
Tell it to River. And I forgot your name. How did I do that? River and Max. Sorry.
Kitsune, grass cutter. It looks like Excalibur has controlled the situation a little, has given you an opening to get out of here. Do you want to take off?
Yeah, I think that River's very concerned for Excalibur. Very much has like a kind of like looks up to her. So
Right.
it's just like, oh my God, no! Like I need to make sure Grandma's okay.
I love how you're so loyal to Excalibur and Max hates her. So I think we continue the bickering into the car.
Okay. So we see you drive out. We see the news media coming. We see the cops picking up these paramilitary guys. Some of them are dead. Others are just badly injured, and they are taking them away. And we will cut to the base. Again, this is a sort of a lost subway station for the city. They actually have a car that's in this, that's got some stuff built up in it, but they've also got one of the nice things is they've got these sort of escalators down, and one of them actually has water kind of running down it like a waterfall. They've got actually grass and kind of a grove there for themselves. And this is an opportunity to do a montage, which allows you to do some things. For this, you can, I'm just going to go through the options. There are some ones that are kind of obvious for where you're at right now. You could give attention to one of your logos theme books and be able to mark attention on that. You could work the case and gain 3 clues. You could explore your mythos and gain a clue with that and mark attention on it. You could prepare for the next thing you're going to do, which would generate some hold juice. Or you can recover from your last activity. And for each ongoing status still affecting you, the NBC will tell you if and how it can be reduced during your downtime and by how many tiers. So if you want to heal up, you can do that. So let's start with you, Excalibur.
Yeah, I like the image of like as I'm arguing with Max and I'm like trying to like shoo away River's concerns. They're both like helping me down the escalator steps because I have to be helped. I have to have help walking. I'm definitely gonna recover.
Okay, so I will say that just from normal first aid, you can recover down 2 tiers. So if you're at a 3, you can go down to level 1.
Okay.
Or if you have powers or things that you can use to like offset that, if you can get 3 power tags that you think are appropriate, we can reduce it based on that.
I was thinking our sacred place and my tough as nails tags. I don't know if I have a 3rd though. No, I think I just have those 2. Well, that's glamorous. I'm too glamorous to have a bullet wound.
So I think that's going to be 2 for you. But let's also check River. Kitsune has some stuff, right?
Yeah, Kitsune has the ability of healing touch, and we've kind of established that my like messenger of good fortune abilities can only be used on other people. So this seems like an ideal time to, lay hands.
Okay. What are the tags that you have on that? That'd be appropriate.
Blessed with good fortune and healing touch are the two tags that I think would probably apply here.
Okay.
And then also, I guess, our sacred space, our sacred place as well. So I have like all three of those tags.
Well, then in that case, I think that for Grass Cutter, and Excalibur, they can go down 3 tiers. And I believe that you have some healing stuff on your own, don't you, Mitosis?
Yeah, I do. I got rapid healing and create skin texture. So he's just kind of like pulling out what's left of the bullets, and then just kind of focusing and watching it heal up.
Yeah, you can definitely clear 3 tags worth there too. And then Kitsune, you'll clear how much? What's your damage status right now?
I've got 2 pained, so.
Okay, so you should be fine. You can clear that with first aid then. And you'll see on the news, nobody's claiming credit for these gunmen. Nobody's admitting to anything. Let's do this. Let's take our break. And when we come back, we'll figure out our next course of action. If you guys want to do another downtime montage, or you want to take some active action, let's do that. Sound good? Okay, we'll take 5. All right. Excalibur? Was that the first time you've been shot?
Yes.
What what kind of physical damage do you think Excalibur has taken before this in the pursuit of these sort of modern gods? Is this like the first real serious injury?
That's interesting. Yeah, maybe it's the first real physical injury. Maybe there's a lot more psychological, or not like a psychic trauma.
That makes sense. Makes sense to me. So the four of you are there. Kitsune, what's your take on what just happened? Do you feel like that was a success? Was it a failure? Which is just weird circumstances?
I think Kitsune is probably torn because on the one side, he got to be a badass, so he feels like really great about himself. But at the same time, like his like natural puzzle solving instinct is just like, we didn't get what we wanted out of that situation. We don't have any more clues. So
I like that. And what about you, Grass Cutter? I mean, you probably still pretty much have the strong memory of Katie. That hasn't been dealt with. We still got those three people out there. Now there's something else going on with this Rhizopolis.
I think, well, I think that the entire time he's recovering, he's super angry. We need to get these guys back as soon as we can. I think that it's becoming more clear that there's kind of a war going on, and we stumbled right into the middle of it. So, I think the ramifications may not have hit him, but definitely the prospect of getting some payback is a good idea.
Finally, let me ask you, Mitosis. You described how you healed, right? The flesh changing stuff like that. Is that something that you're used to now, or is that still weird you out?
Unfortunately, I'm a little bit more used to it every time. At this point, I don't like it, but it's what I gotta do.
Yeah, it happens. It's become more and more natural. You forget about it. The first few times. It probably was just incredibly disconcerting, but now, push the bullets out.
Oh good. Yeah, the first time I was shot, it was horrible. I didn't know what to do. I just suddenly had holes in me, and I wasn't falling down, so that was kind of neat. But then it was very frightening, and
I like it. So let me ask. This is kind of a group question. Do we want to? We've got a couple of ways we can do this. We can, bring the group together to talk about their course of action. We can kind of do a once around for downtime, which is kind of a free investigation phase, or looking into your stuff. Those are a couple options, or something else. What do you think? Let me start with Grass Cutter, who seemed the most adamant. You're muted. Take a drink.
I'm super muted, but and I think he spends a lot of time punching the wall, but it's clear that we need to have a little talk about who we need to pay back, because Midia's group wants us dead. I mean, Kitsune overheard that, pretty much the death order. These guys need to be killed off. So I assume that meant all of us, not just me. And the Greeks clearly, they're not messing around either. So we need to have a powwow.
Okay. Is everyone down with that? We can at least have a combo, and then we can see how we want to split up. We described the meeting area as, I believe, this beautiful, lovely table with this high-tech, pop-up screens and the little iPads. But in fact, you guys all sit at this set of couches that are over, despite having built up this nice area, so you can talk. So, Excalibur, do you consider yourself the leader of the group?
Oh, I'm sure I try.
Okay, well then I let you open the conversation.
So Excalibur absolutely sits at the conference table expecting everyone to sit with her. And when she sees that no one is moving, then I will sigh and get up and walk to the couches, where I'll probably stand in front of everybody. I think primarily looking between Max and River and like, boys, I go to one 24-hour yoga retreat and you get yourselves into this kind of trouble. Luckily, Flicker had the wherewithal to ask Daniel over to help us out. Who knows where we would be without him? Thank you, Daniel. Can you please explain to me what is going on?
Well, you could have just stayed in the car. I'm just going to throw that out.
Okay, Maxwell. Well, that's not helping anyone right now.
I think Max is sketching a new panel of Kitsune and full. He has some ideas based on that fight. So
nice.
Well, do we act against Midia or against the Greeks? I mean, I don't like this Midia person one bit, and she wants us dead. But at the same time, I can't see myself helping her take out the Greeks. And why does she even want to do that? The Greeks were glad that we dropped her name. So clearly they've been gunning for her. So, this might be an either or. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Don't y'all see, this is like the classic Fallout scenario where like both factions are evil and we have to like choose the lesser of two evils, but we just like don't know which one is which, man. Kitsune is like making his new makeshift katana because his old one got thrown to bits. But he's like also talking video games at this point.
Well, we clearly don't know enough either way.
I mean, we know that like Medio wants to kill us. It's like a super easy answer to the question. But like if this were actually a Fallout game, I would like try to track down where the secret base is and like sneak in and see what we could find out.
Life is not a video game, Kitsune. People don't run around with secret bases and paramilitary police forces and...
I literally did that last night. I snuck into Media's art studio and like totally got away. So I'm pretty sure I leveled up at least 3 times.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, and we are in our secret base after just fighting a military police force. So it does happen occasionally.
We should send mitosis. I mean, they don't know him.
That's a thought.
I mean, I'm not sure what we'd be sending them to, but they don't know him, so we have a...
I think he's kind of noticeable, don't you? No offense, bro. No offense.
Yeah, thanks.
So where would we send him, Max?
Well, I don't know. But do we choose a side? Do we fight them both? And if so, I mean, how are we gonna deal with either of them? Clearly, like the end game is that they stop trying to kill us, which is a good thing. I'm not sure what they really want to do though. You weren't there, Excal, when we found out that Media was essentially turning these artists into bombs, into human bombs, trying to take out the Greek guys. So it's less about the art scene now and more about why they want to why Media wants to kill the Greeks or at least destabilize them.
I mean, there won't be any galas if all the artists are blown up.
So man, I'm still pretty sure that like the art is still their main priority. I'm pretty sure the bombs are just like a +1. They're not really like there was a ton of art in that studio.
So the art is the bomb, or the artist is the bomb?
The artists, like this girl just blew up on us, man. Like just completely like went radioactive, and then just like I had to dive behind a couch, and then I had to like take a survivor down a stairway. It was pretty awesome.
Now, was this a video game?
Good question.
It was real life, man. Like you just fought off like mercs and like a SWAT team. So yeah, I think this is serious business.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just don't catch all your references.
One
Yeah,
thing
I
do
never
wanna
thought I'd
point-
say this,
ooh.
but you do play too many video games. But what about this Romero guy?
the conspiracy theorist guy whose boyfriend is missing.
Yeah, didn't we invite him to stay in the base to lay low for a bit?
Not in the base. We
Okay.
set him up somewhere else on one of Grandma's credit cards.
Yes.
Okay. He's staying at the Waldorf Astoria, you know.
The one thing I do want to make clear is that Geyer did not have a chance to communicate back to his people about his contact with you. So the Midian name and your IDs probably, there might be some things from those people on the street, but what Geyer knows didn't get passed on.
Yeah, well, that's useful. I think, yeah, I honestly don't know whether we help Midia try to broker a deal or try to take her down. The Greeks, they just don't seem like they value anyone other than themselves. So it's I don't see us getting in a deal with them. Plus, they might just be terrible people. I mean, you saw that pizza. There was no pineapple on it.
Worse than someone who's blowing people up.
Like, okay, we tracked down like one dude in a matter of like a couple of hours, so it shouldn't be that hard to track down another dude who's also connected to the mob boss, or maybe a lady. You know, we haven't seen a femme fatale yet, so a femme fatale character is probably overdue.
If we can't let Medea continue with this. I mean, full stop. And I mean, perhaps we just need to offer these Greek people something that they've never had before.
Low carb food.
Some stability, a friend in this city. Think of what we could do if we had that community outreach. Anybody?
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't think anyone's saying anything, wrong. I just think that thing at the restaurant, that was our attempt to contact the Greeks, and you just saw what happened. So, maybe now they'll talk to us, or maybe now they'll just try to kill us again and try a little bit harder. So we can try to like help broker a deal, or we could just try to kick their butts.
I say we find the base, man.
Talk to some NPCs. Is that what you're thinking?
Find a quest.
Upgrade our gear. Spend some gil.
I don't appreciate this tone, you guys. I'm being serious.
Okay, it sounds like we need to do a little more investigation then. Find out a little more about the Greeks and a little bit more about Midia and her. I'm going to call it, as I see it, her gang, and we need to make a call based on that. If we have to find them both, it's great. If we could fight them all together, That's also great. If you get them to fight each other and then just pick up the pieces, ideal. But we need a little more info.
So let's do a montage. You can mark attention on either your logos, your mythos, or tell me how you're doing that, and you can get one clue on either one of those. You can just work the case and get 3 clues. Or the other thing you can do is you can prepare for the next activity, which allows you to clear all your burnt power tags, or give yourself sort of 3 hold to use for later in terms of prep, essentially preparedness there. So let's start with you then, Grass Cutter.
I'm gonna work on my my logos.
Okay.
Sullivan Artist.
Okay. So mark an attention there, and then okay. What is it?
No, go ahead.
Does that take you to 3 on that?
No, that takes me to 2.
Okay. And then you can get a question, essentially a clue.
Okay. I tried tracking down Geyer, like just checking around the city, poking around other Greek places and trying to see if anyone will help me connect this guy to other places.
So you're trying to figure out if there are other like equal level people to Geyer?
Yeah, and also we know a little bit about the Greek mafia, and I have people watching and sees the patterns. So I'm trying to connect the dots on their operation and seeing if that we have Kitsune's base that we could raid at some point.
So your question is then where is essentially the base for this Greek mob? Where do they operate out of?
Sure.
Okay. And they actually, the place that seems to be the center of their operations is a casino called Charybdis. It seems to be, it's one of those legal casinos here in the city, and classic smoke-filled rooms, and that seems to be the center point of their operations. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, great.
All right. Let's go with Kitsune. What do you want to do?
So despite the fact that everyone ended up doing what I suggested anyway, they were all kind of really mean to me. So I'm just going to stay in and work on my new katana and relieve the burn on my makeshift katana.
Okay, so you can clear that. What is different about this makeshift katana as opposed to the previous one?
So I think that we probably just have like better quality materials laying around our lair versus I probably made this before Excalibur came into my life. So like, whereas my original katana probably had like some duct tape holding it together and was like not like super stylish or anything like that, I've probably done a lot better job with this time, and it looks like a little bit more professional with like leather binding on the handle and stuff like that.
Do you think it's like a katana you've bought off eBay and then you've reworked on this, that kind of thing?
Probably, yeah. Had to make it my own.
All right. Or an army surplus store in town. One of those kind of places. That makes sense. A pawn shop. Okay. Absolutely. So you can clear that off. Excalibur.
I want some good leverage on the Greek mafia.
So you want to work the case and get 3 clues?
Oh, I won't hold.
Okay. So tell me how you're doing that.
Well, my my wealthy broken family probably is rife with mafia connections. So I'm gonna hit up my aunts, my great uncles, some grandparents to find out what's the what in the mafia world. What leverage? What social leverage can I get?
You get names. You get contacts. You get people. You get places. You get 3 juice, 3 hold for that, which you could spend to like get an introduction, get into a place, establish a reputation, all of those kinds of things. So that's that free floating hold you can spend to do all of that.
Cool.
And what about you there, Mitosis?
I don't know. Everyone kind of leaned on what I was gonna do, so is that on the basic move sheet?
It's actually on the other move sheet. It has the end of session moves and the montage is in there.
Okay, the photo montage.
Let's see. Yeah, actually, if you click on montage in the thing, it'll pull up your choices.
Okay. I think I want to let's see. Don't know. Darn it. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, I think I am going to we already got connections and everything, right? Through
Yeah, she generated some juice there. Yeah. And I'm playing that if you do your logos thing, you can get a clue too. It doesn't seem fair to have those two different.
Yeah. Kind of want to explore my mythos, but I don't know how that would be helpful in this situation.
Well, it kind of like, you have some friends that know some weird things. Are you kind of looking into that and maybe trying to figure out what the mythos are involved with the Greeks or with the Midya?
Yeah, so let's look in the media a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to focus on my transformation and see if I can. I'm going to try and disguise my appearance to go into her art gallery and see if I can find some information about anything that way.
Well, I think what we're kind of with the mythos here is more of a kind of a vision thing, maybe like a sensing, a more abstract thing for that. But you can mark attention on that particular theme book. And I think transformation is one of the right ways to see it, because you're used to a kind of a physical change, right?
Right.
The others have stories that are in them. Your story has really changed who you are. And you can go in, because they don't know you. You are able to go in and look at this artist collective and see people, and you will see to your mind that what Midya has done has lit a spark of creativity, put a piece of fire of creativity in these people. And on some of them, it's just smoldering, but you can see that some of them are burning bright. And when you watch them draw and stuff, they're in that frenzy, like their temperature is increasing. And I think what you will realize as you're doing this is that she is Prometheus. She is bringing that fire, that spark of creativity, and putting it into people. She's bearing that story of the Titans of Greek mythology, of that figure who was strapped to the rock in punishment, and the vulture came down and fed on his entrails every day. And that's the thing that you'll get, is that this is a particularly unpleasant story for you because it's a story that transforms other people involuntarily, like you were transformed involuntarily.
Yeah. Okay.
And so you can carry that back to the group.
Yep.
So, you know what Midya is. You have contacts in the Greek mafia. You know where the base is. They probably got a lot of caps there. It's all good. What is your next step? Excalibur?
Well, I want to go and try and broker a deal with the mafia, no big deal, to get them basically on our side so we can take down, put a stop to Medea's operations.
So let's say you can spend 1 juice to get an introduction and maybe 1 juice to broker a meeting. Do you want it at their base, you know, where they're going to be loath to raise too much of a ruckus?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And we know where it is. So I feel like maybe if we can like jump on that advantage. Yeah.
Because Grasscutter's figured that out, you can draw that in. Do you want to take everybody with you? Do you want to take some of them with you? How do you want to do that?
I mean, I think anyone's welcome to go with me, but
I'll go.
Okay, yeah. I probably do need backup. I realized my power attack that lets me use my sword is still burnt, so yeah, I probably need some help would be nice. But I think it makes sense if we split up too, right?
Before you go, what if things go bad? What if they don't want to broker a deal and what they really want is just to win?
Max, you're such a pessimist. No one's ever said no to me before. You didn't.
Well, you do have a point. Plus, there are plenty of caps there. That's what I hear.
I have Daniel with me. We'll be fine. Just, you know, a couple words between adults.
And that would be my question then, is if you two go in, are you two, Grasscutter and Kitsune, are you going in as well undercover, or are you holding back in another position, or are you going to do something else entirely?
So I feel like Kitsune probably was like all gung ho to go, but then heard that whole like just the chat between us adults comment, and then like it still burned because like everyone kept making fun of him for his video game references, which they followed anyway. And so I think he's gonna probably like try to sneak in while the mafia are otherwise distracted to prove that he knows better than these adults.
Absolutely. And what about you, Grasscutter?
I think that he is also going to sneak in on his own. So I figure that despite the fact that he doesn't really like Kitsune's probably right. So
let's be independent together. All right.
Yeah. So I think everyone makes, well, at least Kitsune and Max make bullshit excuses to like, yeah, I'm gonna go catch Spider-Man again, and you know,
I have to go buy Georgia new shoes.
That's right.
I am gonna check on Ramiro on the way out, though, make sure he's still alive.
It seems that he is still upset and worried about his boyfriend. You know, you've said that you're working on this. You kind of do that. The lovely room service and the beautiful beds and everything here at the Waldorf Astoria are seeming to help him be less anxious. And he's certainly a lot cleaner than he was the last time you saw him.
Well, thank God. Great. I recommend that he order as much room service as he possibly can handle.
I don't want to take too much. I mean, you guys have been.
No, please do. Please do. You've been through a lot.
Grandma's loaded. You'll get whatever you
Okay. So you will go to Charybdis, you two. Now I know that you can dress up nice, Excalibur. That's just a given. Do you think you have a nice suit there, Mitosis, or is this a little more?
I'd say he had a nice suit, but not so much anymore. Like it's a little bit beat up. It doesn't quite fit him right because he's like he has to kind of like concentrate to keep himself inside the suit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a little shabby, a little bit old, but otherwise nice suit.
Okay. And you two will go in. It is that kind of high end casino in part of it, but then there is kind of a low rollers section of it. It's very, noir, everything's kind of dimly lit. There's red velvet carpeting and the panels and things like that. And they've got a club that's attached, where they have torch singers and that kind of thing. And they've got bars everywhere around. And per your instructions, you're going to meet, essentially in a very public space there in one of the clubs, just to make sure that everything is on the up and up. Does that seem right? Excalibur, for a Greek-themed casino like Charybdis, what do you imagine you're seeing when you go in?
Oh man, what am I seeing? Let's see. Obviously a bunch of columns, lots of Corinthian columns.
Okay.
Although maybe that airs more towards Roman, but it's a long history of stealing cultures here. So
right.
Columns, probably like copies of David, the statue. Okay. Right, maybe in different poses even. Maybe this is like a really cheesy, it's a little cheesy where like maybe in the low roller sections, there's like statuary of David gambling.
Oh yeah, they've got statuary of lots of beautiful men and women in different poses and things like that. Absolutely. Lots of copies of David. They clearly done that sort of classical style there.
And I think the ceiling is painted. Sure. It's very like Olympian up there.
Let me ask you a question. What is it that tells you that these statues were people at one point?
Oh, man. I think it's... Oh, man. It's like the hands, right? And like Greek statuary is very good at this like lifelike appearance, but there's just something about the folds at the knuckles and the veins that don't match up in every single statue. Like they're all in different places. There's just something about that detail.
Okay. And let me ask you, Dan. I mean, you're used to these kinds of places. This is just a little bit more your element based on your background. What is it that tells you that, not necessarily because of you, but because of what's going on, that the people here are on edge, like security is on edge? What's the visible signs of that?
They've stepped up security. There's a few more guys, and you can definitely see them like kind of talking back and forth through their communicator, like through their headpieces. You can normally you have like one pit boss and a couple guys in the doors. There's definitely a bigger presence here, and as we walk in, you catch glimpses of like even people sitting at tables, kind of looking up to a few more eyes on us than you'd normally see in a casino.
And it definitely seems to you like this place must usually be hopping, but attendance is certainly down. Word has gotten out that Rusipolis is getting targeted. People are a little bit more nervous about coming to his places. So the two of you will come in, brought into this club. You know, they've got a chanteuse up on stage. They've got a piano player. You know, and you'll be brought over to a big table, and you will see this guy that can only be described as kind of a meathead. You know, thick. He looks like it's not that his suit is ill-fitting, it's like he wasn't sure how to put it on, kind of thing. It's kind of messy that way. And he's sort of seated clearly in sort of the left-hand position there. And on the right hand, you'll see this woman who has this almost like Arab headscarf covering her head. And then Rusipolis. And Rusipolis has a big bushy beard, and he looks like a big. He once was a big, rotund Greek gentleman, but he's one of those people who you know, when somebody loses weight very quickly, that a big person loses that, how they get that sort of oddly cadaverous kind of look to them. That's the look that he has. Like he's been ill recently. He's lost a lot of weight, something like that. But he's charming, and he stands up and he will say, Miss Wainwright, it is just an exquisite pleasure to have you here. I'm so glad to have a chance to meet with you. Why don't you? Is this Handsome Dan?
Oh, you know him.
Dan, I haven't seen you since the Mayweather fight.
You know, there was a whole thing. I was in rehab for a while, and they said, you know, my knees just weren't the same. I couldn't do it anymore.
Oh man, that's too bad, man.
Yeah,
I remember seeing you down at the square. Oh, good fights. Sit down, you two. Can I get you either something to drink? You want some ouzo or you want some real liquor?
I'll have a glass of champagne, please.
Okay, good, the best. Black bottle here. And you, Dan, what can I get you?
I'll take a glass of whatever you like.
Bourbon for me. Okay. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, why are we here, Miss Wainwright?
Rusipolis, I'm sure you know the work I do on behalf of the Wainwright family. And you know, it breaks my heart to see the nooks and crannies and corners of the city that I just can't reach. And it pains me to see the youth in our city go without the help they need. And I think that it's day by day, block by block, community by community. And I'm ready to extend that help a little further, you know.
I actually don't know, because I don't know what exactly you're asking for.
All right, Rusipolis. I have the opportunity to extend my support to the Greek community, and I could use your support in your territory to do that. A little tit for tat, a little
quid pro quo.
Yes, you know, a little
Yeah.
pat on your back, a little pat on mine.
You know, this is I'm liking this. Miss Wainwright, your family is legit all to hell, and you know, and I'm really pleased to see you come down here to talk with me about this. Yeah, I'm sure we can work something out. We can get this straightened out, figure out what you need, figure out what I need. We can get a reciprocal relationship. You're a good person. You and your friends have never crossed me, so we're all good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's cut from that to the two of you sneaking into the casino. So Kitsune and Grass cutter. Now, you two have very, very different sort of power skill sets. I'm curious about what methods you would use to gain entry.
So Kitsune's got a parkour in, so that's just very on brand for him. So.
Okay. And do you follow that way, or are you using your other talents to do this, grass cutter? You might be muted.
I'm muted. So I think Grass Cutter is just going to try to get into the more public part of the casino.
Uh-huh.
So like hide and plain sight, and maybe hang out by the sports book, and just keep an eye on things.
Okay. So I don't think that rises to the level of a sneak around roll. Nobody knows you. You can come in and do that. Do you want to do an investigate on that, or do you want to just kind of hold off?
I think I'll just hold off.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I noticed the weird security and the change in the population. But
yeah.
I'm not supposed to be here anyway.
Yeah. They've definitely got the full end sort of spectrograph stuff where they, it's doing the sniffers for any explosives and things like that. So they clearly don't have an idea of what's going on. So I like a sneak around roll. That's a lovely roll. So tell me what the sneak around roll is going to be based on for you, Kitsune.
Well, since I'm making another rooftop entrance through a skylight, parkour artist, nimble as a fox, and daring spring to mind.
All right. Let's have you put those power tags in and get a good sneak around roll.
10.
Look at this. You're in. Security systems just love you. You just kind of, Kitsune slides past them. You get in. Where do you want to get to in this place?
I am looking for the mob boss's private office.
Okay. You can head your way down there. We got that 10 for the sneak, so we don't really have to worry about that. When you drop down into this mob boss's thing, you pictured something ostentatious, but it's more than that. It's a big marble table, it's marble chairs, it's statuary around in here. The whole place crackles with kind of mythic energy while you're in here. What do you want to do?
Well, I think that I'm going to probably search. Is there a score, or is it just papers and planners?
Yeah, you could do an investigate here. There's plenty of things you could look around at.
I think I want to read the desk and see if I can find anything that looks not quite on the up and up.
Sure. What are your investigation skills for this?
So that's the thing, is while I'm pretty awesome about getting into a place, not so useful when I'm on the inside. So I don't really have anything here.
All right. Well, the minimum power is 1, so you'll always get at least 1 clue if you succeed. So roll with a 0.
Right. Investigate. I still managed to get a 7.
Yeah, absolutely. So you will be able to ask a question. What is it that you want to know from going through this?
I want to find evidence of what the rivalry between Papadopoulos and Medea is.
He is a rift of Zeus. Prometheus is a Titan. Zeus killed the Titans, strapped Prometheus to a rock to have his guts eaten. It seems to be an old mythic thing.
Right.
That seemed like a fair answer?
Yes, that does.
Okay. As you're talking out in the club, you two, you will see Rusopoulos' the woman to his side. You see her kind of look at her phone, and she turns to Rusopoulos and says something quietly, and he goes, "Yeah, go check on it." And the woman gets up, and you see her wander out of the club. So you were saying, Miss Wainwright, what is it that you want? Tell me. Now, I am just a simple man. So you have to be real clear with me about what is it you want.
All right, Rusopoulos, and like champagne in hand, that like lean forward, and I have this like all this evening gown on, and like an absurd amount of jewelry. You see all of it like shift forward as I lean forward on the couch or armchair, whatever I'm seated in. Rusopoulos, I need. How do I want to put this? I need your associates out of my way. And
My associates out of your way? I had no idea any of my associates were in your way.
well,
Give me the names. If somebody is messing with you from my crew, then it's not on my orders, and we can get that fixed. They'll get a stern talking to.
Rusopoulos, I really appreciate that, but excuse me, verb tenses were all mixed up. You know, it's the heat of negotiation.
I'm not good with the conjugations, so if you're doing verb tenses, you know, I can't diagram that sentence, man.
Yes, excuse me.
Go ahead.
I need you and your associates out of my way for any little projects, any little contacts I may need to pursue.
Well, I don't know as I can give you a carte blanche on things, right? That's the right word. I said that right, huh? Turns to the meathead. The meathead goes, oh. I don't know if I can give you carte blanche. Do you have something specific that we're talking about that I can make sure is smooth sailing for you?
Were you going to say something?
No. I'm listening
All right.
to you.
Let's cut to the chase, okay?
Huh?
You two are trying to beat around the bush, and I'm getting tired of this. We're going after Medea. We just don't want any of your guys attacking us while we are.
Who's Medea? I'm going to cut from that. So, grass cutter, you've been sitting there, you know, watching the situation go on. And, you know, you're keeping a close eye. Okay, got one eye, so you can, you know, there are the doors to the back room area. There's the club. Kind of saw who was seated there with Wainwright. And you definitely see this woman get up, and she walks casual out of the club. But when she's kind of out of eye line of that, she picks up her pace, and she is heading sort of beeline for the back area. What do you want to do, grass cutter?
I think I'm going to follow her.
Okay. Do you just want to try and pace her back? Try to so inconspicuously get to the back area with her? Are you pushing that far? Because she's going to go back through like the private doors and things and go to the back area.
Yeah. I think I'm going to the funny thing is Kitsune's the other Kitsune's great at this kind of thing.
You have
Okay.
some interesting stuff that you can, right? You
Yeah.
can turn to water, right?
Yeah, but I mean, how does that get me to the back room faster? I am going to head to the nearest restroom, assuming it's on the way, and
Okay.
transform into water, then move
Uh-huh.
through the pipes and try to get the back faster.
Okay. I think this is still a sneak around. I think you can get back there faster because this is certainly a powered, enhanced move.
Okay. I'll use transform into water and narrow spaces,
That seems good.
and we'll see where we go with that.
Sneak around.
I don't think we've had a fail yet on any roll, like a just pure
No,
fail.
but no pure fails.
Yeah, but this one's not a pure win either. So okay, I got a 9.
Okay. Got that in my head. So Kitsune, yeah, this guy's Zeus. This is a little war between the gods and the titans here going on. Want to keep looking around? Do you want to do anything?
Well, I don't know that anyone is on their way up, and I feel pretty confident right now.
Absolutely.
So I think I'm gonna just keep going around. And I mean, like, middle school Greek mythology is really like turning over in my brain right now. I'm looking at all these statues, and I'm just wondering, I wonder if there's a personnel list or something like laying around that might let us know a little bit more about what's going on here.
Okay. Does that rise to the level of another investigation?
I mean, if it's not on the desk and I have to like go searching around for it, like
Yeah.
in file cabinets or something.
Let's do that. Let's have you roll investigate with that 0 that you've got.
All right then. Let's put up this one I did. That one's a miss. There we go.
So
there's your miss.
You are there. And you're standing, got the file cabinet open, and you're standing very exposed when the door comes open. And it's that moment where you like go to jump and move, but you realize you've moved kind of far away from your entry point, and you'll see this woman standing there, slightly olive complected skin. She has this headscarf on, and she's opened the door, and she just kind of looks at you for a second and goes up to kind of scratch her head. Now, let me ask you, Grass Cutter, you've gotten in quickly. You've gotten in relatively quietly. If you see this woman who's clearly an agent of these Greek people clearly find something, what would you do?
Do I see Kitsune?
I think with that, I think you don't know what she's found, but she's definitely doing that thing where she's kind of stopped, like she's about to take aggressive action.
That is a good question.
Yeah. Or do you want to hold?
No, I'll emerge from water and
Okay.
I'll tackle her.
Okay.
See what that turns into.
All right. So what are you using for this? What power tags?
I'm using emerge from water.
Okay.
And I'm using we burned Fury of the Gods. I'm not gonna tackle her. I'm gonna hit her with the flat of Kusanagi.
Okay.
So
You're more interested in putting her off balance?
yeah, kind of grabbing her attention. I'm not really trying to take her out.
Okay. So I think it'll be essentially go toe to toe, and essentially we're kind of trying to inflict that unbalance on her. Does that seem fair?
Sure. I'll just go with the 1 then, the 1 tag.
Okay,
See
let's
what
have you
happens.
roll.
Got an 8.
There's an 8. So what do you want from that pick?
I'm going to manage to achieve my goal. So I'm gonna essentially I think I'm gonna hit her hard on the head. I'm just gonna whack her on the side of the head and see grab her attention.
Okay, then I think, yeah, you can hit her, kind of grab her by the collar there. And she will pull the headscarf off. And you will see those spectral snakes emerge from under the cloth. There. Kitsune, could I have you roll face danger?
Is that just a straight roll, or
What tags do you think you would have for resisting petrification?
resisting petrification? All right. I don't know.
Is it speed? Is it spirit? What do you think?
It's probably very spiritual.
Okay.
And possibly maybe it's a bit of a stretch, I'll admit. Making a hypnotic suggestion that I am not a person that she's trying to turn to stone.
Interesting. Okay. Let's see it.
Face danger with +1.
Yeah.
It's a 7.
That is a 7. So you're going to take a level 3 status, turn to stone. And it's not that you fully turn to stone, but that your limbs get leaden, everything slows down, everything gets heavy, as she, the power of her glance kind of comes across you, but doesn't fully land on you. Let me cut from you guys doing that awesome stuff to Miss Wainwright and our good friend Dan. No, when you say Midya, who are you talking about?
The painter lady, the artist. Geyer knew you know.
Whoa. How do you know Geyer? Because my guy Geyer went out to talk to some people and he got gacked. Do you know anything about that?
We arrived before Dan can say anything. We arrived at a crime scene. Much later, a roof was blown off of a diner. The news media was blocking everybody. No idea what it was.
Oh, I think this is convince.
Yes. Okay.
What's your appropriate tags for bullshitting Zeus?
Oh, seasoned negotiator.
Okay.
Maybe this power tag, inconspicuous. Wait, hold on. Inconspicuous in bracelet form.
Do you think that? It means that your sword isn't obvious. I don't know how that's directly relevant to you BSing here.
Nah, I don't know. Oh, the seasoned negotiator, tough as nails.
Yeah,
I think it's good. Yeah. Surely there's something else here.
Would bullshit detector help you?
Oh yeah, maybe if I can detect it, I know how to bullshit.
Yeah.
Dang
That
it,
seems
all
fair.
right, take it. Do I want to do a weakness tag for experience?
Oh yeah, you should get that experience, get that minus
Oh, Pantheon drama? I mean,
sure.
I don't know. It's not necessarily us, but I think we're causing Pantheon drama, right?
That seems fair.
Okay. Yeah, I'm into it. I don't wanna lose out on too much here. Okay, all right. And I'm doing convince. Oh wait, plus I had plus what did I say? 3 minus 1. No, not plus 4. Oh no, not plus 5. Okay, plus 3. This is like a blade sheet for me. It's just so slow.
All you do have to do is click the box next to the tags.
Oh, I
Don't
thought
put anything up top unless you've got modifiers, and then just hit the roll.
Okay.
It took me to the second session before somebody pointed it out to me. I didn't figure it out. Someone pointed it out to me.
All right. Okay, to convince. Okay, got it. 9. Choose irrelevant.
He is skeptical. He is highly skeptical of this. But he's like, Miss Wainwright, Mr. Dan, why don't you lay your cards on the table for me? And then we can come to an open and fair and equitable understanding.
Can I use my last hold for the thing?
Sure.
Can it be that I know that more than just like this mythos fueled squabble I know that the mafia, this Greek mafia, is actually like very hard up for support, and or they're like about to collapse or something like that.
It's certainly what has happened with these bombings has certainly undercut them badly.
So yeah. The Wainwright family is prepared to sign you on as a silent business partner, if you will, for your community efforts. That's unlimited funds, if you need me to be brusque about it.
Brusque is working.
The vault will be open.
That's a great offer. Why? What's going on?
I don't like people. Oh, how do I want to phrase this? I don't like seeing people being abused. I don't like seeing all this young talent thrown away on a fight that should be dealt with in a more adult way. So I'm going to stop it.
See, now here's the thing. Let me do this. And as again, I said, I don't know how to parse a sentence from bingo to bagels. Okay, so let me ask you this. It almost seems to me like you're saying, who has been attacking my people.
Yes.
And let's cut back to backstage in the casino. Let's come back to you, Grass Cutter. You will see those Medusa snake come out of the hair there, and Kitsune kind of take a step back and clearly impacted by this, whatever effect this woman has. What do you want to do?
This is kind of a weird thing because we all knew this was coming as players, but our characters didn't. So it was one of those things. All right, so I'm like, wow, this is getting out of hand really fast, but I am making the connection really quickly. So I am going to summon lightning, and I'm going to short out all the bulbs in this room to turn it totally dark.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So let's do change the game.
Yeah.
Essentially to remove her power temporarily.
Okay, so I'm going to use smite with lightning,
Okay.
and I'm going to use limitless creativity
Okay.
and seize the pattern.
Perfect. Roll it with change the game.
All right, I got an 8.
8. So with a power of 3, you essentially can spend that, and let's say one of those hold you spend to douse the lights.
Yes.
If you want to spend another hold, the lights will stay out.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay, and I'll leave you another hold. Does that seem cool? We can figure out how you want to do that on the fly.
Well, can I give her reduce the status? Can I reduce Kitsune's status now that she can't? I mean, he can't see the Medusa.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. So Kitsune, you can reduce your turn to stone down to a 2. And Kitsune, what do you do? Lights go out.
Well, I think that I was pretty well aware of what was going on just before the lights went out. And I think that I've also made the mental leaps to understand just exactly what I'm fighting against here. So I think that I want to, since I can't move that well, I think that I want to throw my makeshift katana exactly where I remember Medusa being.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to just burn it.
All right.
So
that's a roll in a 10 with the hit it with all you got and power 3. So you'll do a level 3 effect. And you get to pick 2 results then from the hit it with all you got.
So on 7 to 9, choose 1. On 10 plus, choose 2. I think I get them good and I secure a superior position.
Yeah, so it's darkness. You throw that katana, it plunges into this Medusa woman. She cries out, and the lightning is gone off. She seems very badly injured. Let me cut outside when you two are in the club there, and the lights go out. There's that lightning that comes through. The lights go out, and you know that everybody's already sort of on edge from the attacks, and this meathead guy kind of stands up immediately and sort of picks up Rusopolis like he's going to bodyguard him, and Rusopolis goes, "What the fuck is going on?"
No clue. This is your place. You tell me.
You can't even keep the lights on.
Oh.
Sounds.
Probably a bad idea.
And he says, we'll have this conversation later. And he turns to the guy and says, "Hunk, get me out of here." And the big guy kind of picks him up, and they start moving to leave. This is a question I have for you. Are you going to try and stop them? Do you want to let them go? Do you want to do something else? What do you think, handsome Dan?
I'm going to stop him because we're not done with business yet. So I'm gonna just get in front of Hunk and it's like, come on, I don't know what's going on, but we need to settle this. We need to make everything clear.
Do you want to calm Hunk down? He's this mafia boss's bodyguard. He clearly knows one thing, and that is punching.
I like punching. Yeah. You're not going anywhere, and I'm gonna slug Hunk.
Okay. Let's have you roll go toe to toe.
All right. I got boxing.
Yeah.
I got a mean right hook.
Mm-hmm.
I'm huge.
Yep.
But I do get exposed after a big strike.
Yeah. This all seem good. And I think it's go toe to toe because we got a couple of effects. It's not just the striking. It's that you want to kind of hold them in place here.
Go toe to toe.
Yep.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay. So, are you more driven to do damage or to like stop them from leaving?
To stop them from leaving.
Okay. So that your fist hits this guy, and it's like he is made of stone. But your fist lands, and he does kind of step back, like he wasn't expecting to get clocked like that, and he's like, oh. So let me ask you, Miss Wainwright, what's your take on this?
This is spinning wildly out of control. My take is
it is dark in here, so that is to your advantage until the circuit out here is probably going to reset quicker than the one backstage.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I want to like regain control of this situation again. Like, and I want to get Ruzapolis back at the bargaining table, preferably at a disadvantage. And I'm wondering if there's a way I can use this mythos of Excalibur. I'm thinking a lot of what I barely know about that. And what I want to bring into it is sort of like,
do you want to threaten him? You could use Excalibur to threaten him. Convince includes that.
I kind of want to do like a big set piece. Like I want to, I think I'm kind of aiming for like stop holding back. Like
okay. Yeah.
Big thing. Like I want to like maybe forget like the circuit coming on. Maybe I want like a shaft of light to beam down on this like holy weapon and to be like, you're going to sit and we're going to finish this chat.
Okay. That seems fair. I think that's a significant thing. Which of your logos, which of your themes do you think is most important to that? Is it Excalibur?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it has to be, right? Because I'm pretty much leaning on that mythos entirely.
So that's the one we're gonna potentially damage. But let's have you roll with logos.
Okay.
And then I want to swap back to the people backstage.
That's +3, right? Because I'm adding up my logo. Okay. I'm cinematic move. Stop holding back. Someone spent a health point.
So tasty, so delicious. God. I don't know if I can express how happy I am.
That's the one. Roll.
So we'll come back to you in just 1 second.
Yeah.
So Medusa has a katana through her. The lights are out. Lightning is still crackling around. She's kind of staggering back from this. She's in bad shape. Let's come back to you, Grass Cutter.
Well, I think we need to take her out. I'm going to. Well, okay. Real question is how in a totally dark room. So, I'm gonna send a lightning bolt where I think she is.
Okay. I think we've got environmental effect. Essentially, the darkness. The lightning will help. I think we're at a -1 from that.
Okay, so I'm gonna use smite with lightning.
Okay.
What do you think about seize the pattern?
How would that be directly? Oh no, yeah, wait, no, we've yeah, I think because we are doing visualization, that seems reasonable.
If I burn the tag, will it reset it for the next session?
If you burn the tag, you'll have to take a montage to reset it.
Okay, I'll burn the tag on smite the lightning. Smite with lightning and blow her away.
So that's a 10, and it'll do 3 ticks. And what do you want for your choices?
And I know you posted this, so
yeah,
this is
you can just hit it again if you want to look at the choices.
I see what you're saying. So this go toe to toe is what you said.
This is actually going to be hit with all you got, since I think you are trying to take her out.
Yeah, let me just see what the choices are.
I think
picks. We're gonna get them good, and gain the upper hand.
Gain the upper hand. So
that's a good roll too.
Yeah, you got juice. You got 1 juice. But she does, as that lightning goes off and she takes that hit, she grabs onto you and she puts the full, like, that sort of exorcist flash face, that white face. You get that right in your face. And you're going to take a level 2 turn to stone from her as you kind of blink back from that. Kitsune, what do you do?
So does that pulse give off any kind of light? And also, is my katana still in her?
Yeah, well, with the hit that you did, she is run through with that katana.
Oh, well, no, actually I burned it, so it's pretty much useless at this point.
You're not going to be able to pull it out of her.
Yeah. So, I think that, like, let's see.
You need to do at least 2 ticks to take her out.
At least 2 ticks. Okay. Well, I think she's otherwise involved at this point, so I feel like I could come up behind her with my parkour artistry and my nimble as a fox. And it's also pretty daring to sneak up on your enemy while she's tearing down on somebody. And also, I really need to stand united with my team here.
Let's see it. We'll get a -1 effect for the environmental, but you can get all that stuff.
And then
almost no chance that you can fail this roll.
Don't jinx me.
Oh no, that's what I do.
I really got the fail. All right.
So it's gonna. I guess I'm just gonna hit it with all I got.
Okay.
Oh, it's still just managed to be a 7.
Just managed to be a 7. So what do you want to take the superior position so she doesn't flash you with the stone face back?
Yeah, I think that I definitely don't want to get. I don't want to raise that status. So.
Then what does it look like when she goes out?
So actually, I think that the way this works is like I reach up behind and just like snap her neck real quick, and I feel like the light that was just pulsing from her face and from her eyes almost like blinks a little bit and then just goes out, and her body like crumbles to dust.
Yeah, like we had that sort of glow light inside, and then And almost like, those fireworks, we have the sort of black snake things that come out. It's like that. And then ash. So let's come back to that 6, huh?
No, that's okay. Keep going around.
Okay. So she pulls out Excalibur, and you go to put it to his throat. And I think that you're going to have to mark all your tags on your weapon.
Yeah.
And you go to do that, and you kind of, it's weird when you kind of pull your full force in it, you actually push Rosopolis back, but you cut his son's head off.
Hulk? Or
Yes.
oh no. Oh.
Dan, she kills Rosopolis' son right there. Do you want to get her out of there, or do you want to stay?
Oh, we got to get out of here.
And that's what we're going to take up next time.
Poor Hunk. Oh man.
So there is an end of session move, which I think is appropriate here. You get to geek out during credits. We haven't done this. I keep forgetting to. Has the crew grown this session? I think it's developed a whole new range of murderous talents. So I'm going to say yeah. You can recover a burnt crew power tag or mark attention on the crew theme. So this is another good thing. Let me ask you this, Kitsune. Who do you think had the most meaningful interaction with your character this session?
I feel like it has to have been Max, because like our initial conflict was that he thought that I was like too much of an upstart, and now I've saved him twice this episode. So
So do you think that's an additional help point for Max then?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that like evens out like the hurt that was there.
Okay.
Unless
So,
Max is a different opinion.
Yeah. So you can put a help point on your character sheet for his name. And what about you, Miss Wainwright? Who's the character that you had the most meaningful interaction with?
The most meaningful interaction. Well, I think it's Dan, Handsome Dan. Because without Handsome Dan trying to stop and move these negotiations along, I would have never cut off Hunk's head.
So Dan, you get a help point for Dan. What about for you, Grasscutter? Who did you have the most meaningful interaction with?
I had the most meaningful interactions with Kitsune, although Kitsune did not save me. In fact, I saved Kitsune twice.
So do you think that you feel like you helped, or do you feel like maybe you're a little resentful of what she's saying?
Despite all that, we actually do work really well as a team. So I think it is a help.
Absolutely. So you can put a help point there. And Dan, who did you have the most meaningful?
Probably Miss Wainwright.
Okay.
Yeah.
In a good way, or in a negative way, like you're a little worried?
Up until that last moment, I would have said a good way, but
yeah, let's put that hurt point down. I'm not going to worry about the last little bit of that there. We're going to take up next time with the last session, and we'll resolve some of this Pantheon drama. So, John, thank you for again coming in for the heroic last minute save. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Craziness.
Sorry for my computer issues this week.
No, I thought you had a more stable connection than you did last time. It felt like
right at the beginning, yeah, but it kept pausing up at different points. And, yeah.
So what we're gonna do is next time I'll check in with everybody, see what we definitely want to hit in that last session. Follow up from this. There are some start of session things I want to see if we want to hit any of those, and we'll see how things go. Does that seem cool?
Yep. As a reminder, I won't be here next week.
What?
I know. That's why I was pushing a little hard with like the news on this one.
Oh, well, no, I think that was a good one.
Yeah.
So
feel free to take Excalibur wherever she needs to go.
Well, we have all the leverage now because we basically killed everyone. So you got your leverage, just not the way you wanted.
True.
Yeah, that is kind of wicked, isn't it? Maybe not wicked in the greatest possible way. But John, you'll be back with us next time.
Yes, okay. I'm actually already attending, so I won't be last minute.
Darren, I always love playing with you, so it's great to have you back. I love the version of Excalibur. So
I know.
And Daryl, Gene, I'm looking forward to seeing where you take this cluster muck here, where that goes. I'm very excited about that. Hey, have a good holiday, everybody, because I think this is it. Next week, got this weird Tuesday holiday and all the other stuff. So take it easy. I will talk with you all later.
Right. So